Okay, so we can also do nested logic. It's probably actually easier if I just type this rather than put it up on the board. All right, so before, do some dual screen here. We had, oh my gosh. If, I'm just gonna call it button, or how about we do switches? So if switch 1 and switch 2, then LED 1, I'm going to set that to true, and the if. All right, we're going to just start with that. All right, so this is, feel free to follow along. This is what we're going to do with your switch simulator. All right, so when we're talking about switch 1, switch 2, this is what I'm talking about using this guy. And LED 1 is going to be our output LED. Just like before, we're still using our mappings. Okay, so like we set up for our ladder diagram, we went over to the resources tab and we clicked into the button inputs, for example. We're still using these naming conventions. Okay, so I'm actually going to go over here. I'm going to call this, we're not using the button inputs. I'm sorry. We're going to use the programmable inputs this time, right? Because those are our inputs on the top of the device. So we have switch 1 and switch 2. Setting up those switches. So if I were to make a ladder diagram, a new program down the line, I could still use these variables. Switch 1 and switch 2 could be used for other programs too, if I wanted them to be. Okay, they're still named the same thing through any number of programs can share these variables. All right, so we have switch 1 and switch 2. LED outputs, I'm going to reuse LED blue. So I'm going to change this from LED 1 to LED blue and reuse that binding. Okay, so now we have our inputs. We have switch 1 and switch 2. Set that to true. We're going to make a new line, a new conditional. If switch 1 not switch 1 and not switch 2, then LED blue equals true. All right, how's our syntax looking? Good. All right, so a couple things to note as you guys are copying this down. Note that we have a semicolon after end if, but not at the end of then. Okay, no semicolon here. We do have a semicolon here and here. Okay, so whenever we assign something to equal another thing, semicolon. Whenever we set one thing to another thing, semicolon. Okay, and again, we could repeat this down any number of inputs. You know, if we had different conditions, a switch 1 is on and switch 2 is off, or a switch 2 is off and switch 1 is on. Yeah.
Wouldn't that just make it the light always on in this case?
If I didn't change this code. So what I'm saying is, for example, this one's if this one is on and this one is on. This one's if this one is not on and this one is not on. This one would be like if this one is on and this one is not on. And this one might be like if this one is not on and this one is on, so on and so forth is kind of what I'm saying. You could break out the logic like that. And then, so the way that the PLC would run is it would evaluate all of this code. It would run line 1, and then line 2, and then line 3, and then 5, and 6, and 7, all the way down. And then it would see what the outputs are. Okay, what is the final state that LED blue is set to, true or false? And then it'll update that output accordingly. You guys remember the PLC scan cycle? We see our inputs, we run our code, and then we write our outputs. That happens in that order. Okay, so yeah, if you had a conditional up here, for example, that met the conditional and that set that high, But then later down the line, you had some other conditional that set it low, it would be low because that was the last thing that wrote that state. Okay, so something to be careful of if you guys are ever writing complicated code. You know, why is your variable not changing? Well, maybe something later down in the code is changing it or not changing it, right? If I had all of this, these conditionals set up, and then my last line just said LED blue equals false on its own line, then yeah, that would never ever be true. It would just always be false because the last thing that was written to it was 0 or false, right? It would never do anything else. Any questions on that? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to give you guys another chunk of time to experiment with this and play around with this. I want to do the same thing we did before, where we're taking our user input button and we're changing the relay. We're clicking the relay, we're blinking the LED button, and doing that with structured text instead. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure that you have removed your previous program from the fast tasks, so you're not having two programs that are fighting over the same resources, okay? And I want you to try to get the same behavior that we saw before, which is when we clicked user button, that lit up our relay 1, whatever you have that called, as well as one of the LEDs, you know, whatever you have that assigned to, call it LED blue or whatever. Okay, so for now, I want you guys to make this ladder diagram program in structured text using what I've shown you here, okay? I'm gonna give you guys good 10 or 15 minutes to attempt that, and then I'm gonna open it up to questions, help you guys out a little bit. If we're looking good at that point, we'll make a few other programs that are a little more advanced than this and keep chugging, okay? Any questions before we begin? Okay. All right, good luck. Talk to you again soon. I'll leave this up for just a demonstration to keep it up. Again, just pointing it out, the example that I have up here is different than what I want you guys to do, right? This is using 2 switches, this is using 1 button. So just keep that in mind, okay? This one. Yeah.
We're using like different licenses for relays and stuff for this. Can we have all of the like the push button and the or sorry, the text thing?
You mean like one conditional block?
No, I mean like just in one structured text program. Like
So
I do the push button here, and then I go a couple more dot lines down, and then I do like the and, or sorry, the or, and then I do the and right after that.
Mhm.
That work, and that'd be fine.
yeah, if I understand you correctly, I believe so, yes. Yeah. Give it a shot. If you're having troubles, let me know. You doing okay? Do you have any questions?
I'm just trying to think of how to call the relay, but I guess I would have to name it first.
Right. Yes, correct. And guys, just one more tip: your LED or your relay you won't hear the click unless you plugged it into your power board, right? We have to have the wall wart in play for the relay to actually fire, but you will see the LED change, just so you know.
So ELT underscore it might do the same.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Questions? Doing okay over there? Yeah? Okay.
What will we see for the relay?
Sorry?
What will we see for the relay?
So if you have it ANDed with the LED, which means that if the input is on, then you would set the LED on and the relay on. Whenever the relay is on, the LED would be on too, theory being. Otherwise, you would just hear the click. It would be the only indication the relay is working. You could also take a multimeter to it in conductivity mode, where if you press the leads together, it buzzes or it rings, right? You know that mode? Continuity mode? No?
I'm not seeing anything.
No, I mean for a handheld device, like a multimeter, like when you press the two leads together and it beeps? You know what I mean? No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So there's a mode on a multimeter I don't see that we have one in here. Sorry?
It's supposed to be a click the first time.
Whenever it changes states, you'll hear a click.
Well, because like setting like
So,
variable for like when the true turns on.
so for example, in this button, right, if pretend like this was controlling a relay, you would hear click, 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 like that for the relay. You would hear it click on and off. But only if it's powered with this. If you have the wall wart in here and this powered to your PLC. Otherwise the click wouldn't happen. The relay wouldn't be powered. Yes?
Did one thing go with ours, for some reason, everything works, but for some reason the LED red is just permanently on. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Really? Have you disconnected it from power and turned it back on?
Like, just like,
Yeah.
I looked at it with the wall outlet.
Mm-hmm.
False.
Is it still there?
Yeah, that LED red is still on.
Okay, so I would probably try making just a new blank program. You can even just reload the software and have the new main blank program come up and re-upload that and see if the LED turns off. Let me know if it doesn't. Yeah.
For the software right now, we tried everything, but for some reason,
No, it's not a big error.
Okay.
plus sign is not operation. Is not. We don't have a plus sign in our code. So I'm missing something. It keeps saying
Operation
this.
not allowed on Boolean.
Yeah, no.
So it's happening in your main. So go back to your main project.
Here.
So yeah, go there. And then go to your resources. And then, oh, sorry, go back to your main project. And then your global variable count. Oh, so you changed count into a Boolean. So it's trying to add 1 to something that can only be 0 or 1. So it should be an integer. Right, it has to be a number to add things to it, to do sums and division and all that.
That makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Did the light turn off when you recompiled?
It didn't. I just set it to LED red souls.
And that worked? Okay, okay. Mystery solved.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Also. Are we going to be mostly doing a ladder diagram?
Between that and structured text, mostly. I'm going to bring in function block diagram too, but it's mostly just like an FYI.
I've actually got one of your previous students in my ELT110 class. He was talking about this class.
Good things, I hope.
Yeah.
Good. All right, guys, a couple more minutes to wrap up this exercise. When the clock strikes 7:40, I'm going to walk around and have you guys demonstrate this program working. Okay, so just get it working again. All you're trying to do is when you press the user button, the relay clicks and the LED turns blue. Okay, so make sure your wiring is okay. So your relay is clicking, right? Your relay is powered, your PLC is powered. Make sure your software is working correctly. Again, okay, 7:42, let's call it. A few more minutes, and then I'll walk around.
Is this the right sound?
No, that's just the button clicking. Oh, you don't have it plugged in?
This?
Yes. Yeah, I think that'll do the trick. So now try. It's not. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's the click. So that's the coil engaging, clicking apart and together is the actual metal slapping is what you're hearing. Anyone having troubles? Need help? Okay. All right, 2 more minutes.
The other thing.
It's still on.
Then
It doesn't matter.
Hello.
Do you have any safety glasses here?
Safety glasses. I don't think so.
Can I check in the back?
Of course, yeah. Fingers crossed, but not that I've seen.
No.
Yeah.
So you think that you don't have one?
Likely, but I'm not sure on that.
Let me double check.
Of course, yeah. Yeah. Okay. What's up?
That's all good. For some reason, the relay is not going off. Request. I think it's because of.
Okay, so that's working. Is this plugged in? It sure is. If button, then it's true, relay 1 is true. If not, then button is false and relay 1 is false. Okay, so go ahead and click on our live debug. You did upload it to the PLC, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Many times.
All right, so now if we press our button, if user, not user button true, and
I mean, if we named it.
oh, here. So see how this is changing? LED blue.
Yeah.
If user button is true, then LED button, yeah, relay 1 is being set to true. Do you have it mapped properly in your resources? In your relay outputs? There you go. All right, any other questions? All right, I'm gonna start walking around. I'll start on this side and I'll snake through, okay? So I already saw you working. Is it still excellent? How's it going?
Kind of good. Just make sure it's right.
Okay. So it's definitely easier to read. The computer doesn't care if it doesn't look like this, but it's a lot easier to read when you get used to it if you keep the syntax like that.
Like spaced out.
Right, spaced out, tabs in certain places, just like that. You know, it kind of looks like, it's hard to see at first, but later on when you get used to the patterns, you can see it like that. You can just read it like sentences. But so we have if switch 1. Okay, so just a reminder that the code up there is not what you should be doing like verbatim. You should be trying to replicate the red up there. So see how we have our user button, and if we press that, relay 1 and LED blue turns on. So that's what we're trying to do, but in this code. So it's similar, but not exactly the same, right? So here we want to say if user button, then relay 1 equals true, for example. And then maybe if user button, then LED blue equals true, and then to set those false and all that. Okay, cool. I'll come back around later, but go ahead. How's it looking?
So I'm getting all these errors down here.
Okay.
Every time I compile, it says all these errors.
So show me your programmable inputs, your local I/O. Yeah.
These ones here.
Okay, so it's because these have an underscore and this one doesn't.
So I have
That's
to
why.
put the underscores in.
Yeah, it has to be exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
That'll probably fix the problem. Yes. So you guys were working okay?
Did work.
Yeah, so-
Did. Great.
So we had our relay 1, we had it mapped here.
Mm.
Do we just avoid this?
Yeah, it's kind of like the background. It's like you might not want to peek behind the curtain that far yet. Just for the resources, probably what you want to change. Yeah. You could technically do it either way.
But yeah, it wasn't working when we
It
were like
was-
this.
yeah, it
And it's
was-
like,
Mm.
we have the name.
Oh, okay. So that's why you thought you had it, but you didn't? Yeah, so just stick to the resources then, I guess, yeah. There might be other things you have to set out to make that work. Yeah. But, yeah, so you guys are working, good stuff, thank you. How's it going?
Good, sir.
Yeah, so you press it and it works? Nice, good job. How's it going? I don't hear your relay clicking. No, it's just the button that's clicking. Your relay's not firing. Just plugged in? Yeah, I don't hear your relay click. So your relay isn't actually turning on. Let's see why. Man, we gotta get you guys a new monitor. It's true, but if not, but 1. An LED red. Oh, you're not actually setting your relay to do anything. You're just controlling LEDs here. So I'll come back around, but try to control that relay. How's it going, guys?
Not good.
Not good.
I can't. I don't know. Because this one was big. I accidentally clicked this.
Oh,
And
it got rid of all your stuff, huh?
And I started clicking X. And then
Oh,
it's going gray.
okay. So you're probably going to have to go to View, and then Toolbars and Tool Windows. I think Tool Windows is probably the one you want. Yeah. So probably a lot of that stuff went away.
Now I can find the other one with the bar.
With the bar, the resources. Oh, so that's just right-clicking to add a new program. So the top project. So right above that. So right-click this guy, Mateo's Project 1. Right-click that, and then add program. New program. There you go. And then that's how you start it. Okay, but in the future, if you're this far behind, let me know sooner, okay? You're pretty far behind at this point. But no worries, just let me know if you have another error, okay? How you going?
Sorry for being gone for a while.
It's okay, that happens. So you came late to the class?
No, I was here before, but it was just right before we started this when you were just having us do the previous thing with just messing around with this.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you didn't really get the text intro?
No, but I'm just copying it down.
Okay, so it's good to copy it down, but just so you know, the actual exercise is to do what's in red up there. See that ladder diagram, user button, relay 1, LED blue in red?
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to make inside of our code. So it will look like that. For example, if user button, then relay 1 equals true or false, right? You're going to use the syntax that you see in the code up there to implement the logic in the red.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. See how we, like on resources, like the inputs we write down here, are we supposed to write it the same way?
Yeah,
We
so
have them here?
exactly. And then the only difference, so if you go back to relay output, so in this example I want you to set a relay and set the blue LED. So you're going to have to name relay 1 to some variable so you can use it, right? And then so on and so forth. Let me know if you have problems. I'm going to let you work on this for a little while, okay? Yeah. Coming back to you guys. Yeah. Did it work for you?
Yeah, no, it's good.
And you're clicking and you're seeing the LED?
I don't have that in yet.
Okay. All right, keep working on it. You doing okay?
Yes.
Okay. So if user button and relay, nice. Yeah, on the right track. So you should only need, yeah, okay, that's so far so good. Keep working on it. All right, guys. So next one, we're going to continue on. I'm going to give you guys a new ladder diagram, and we're going to make that one too, okay? I'll leave up this example just to give you guys some code to look at. We're going to do a new thing here. All right, so what I want you guys to do is if switch 1 and turn on the coil. If switch 2 want you to turn on the coil. So if not switch 2, turn on the coil. Okay, and if I want you to do if, right, this is normally closed or the negate option. So now I'm going to do if switch 1 and switch 2. Then I also want that to go high. Okay, this is our relay 1 for all 3 cases. Okay. Here's another useful tip for you guys. All right, we're going to go through and we're going to make a logic breakout. Okay. So this is our inputs. And these are our outputs. And I'm going to show you the desired state that I want, okay, to implement the logic. So here, this is kind of like, this is what you would be given first. Well, what you would actually be getting is like a write-up, a descriptive write-up. We have these sensors, this sensor goes high, sensor goes low. Here's the situation, here's what we want. Okay, from that situation, you would make this chart just to help yourself. Okay, this tells you from the description or who you're talking to, what your inputs are. Here we have 2, and what should the output be in that situation. Okay, so we have 3 situations, and we have different inputs in each of them. All right, here we have if switch 1 is on, then relay 1 is on. Okay, so if switch 1 is on and switch 2 is off, then relay 1 is on. Sorry, so this would just be on. Okay. If switch 2 is off, then relay 1 is on. Right? So even in this case, or this case, we already have, the output will be 1. Okay, you guys see why this is a redundant case? I'm going a little fast here, but really we don't care what the output for what the status of switch 1 is and when we're considering the switch 2 case. Okay, and then switch 1 is if switch 1 is 1 and switch 2 is 1, then we want our output to be 1. Okay, and then what you would do here is you would want to cover any uncovered cases. For example, a case that's uncovered is 0, 1 here. Okay, we actually have undefined behavior. I didn't tell you what to do with this. Okay, so we wouldn't implement that in our program. But in like the field, you might go, hey, what do I do in this situation? It's uncovered by our conditionals, what do? And then that might make a conversation. It might be a chance for some more functionality, or it might just be an error on whoever was giving you the description. They forgot to tell you what that meant. Okay, so typically you'll have some sort of inputs that are a complete set, which is for 2 digits 00, 01, 10, 11, right? And then a combination of what all those mean and what you do with all those situations. Okay. So for now, I want you guys to create a structured text program that does this behavior. Okay. To complete this, I'm just going to say during this situation, turn this off. Okay. So when input 1, switch 1 is off and switch 2 is on, then we're going to turn that relay off. Okay. So just again for completeness, I'm going to say if not switch 1 and switch 2, then turn off the relay. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to give you guys, again, a decent amount of time, say 10 minutes, to implement this chart. It will only actually be a few lines. It'll look a lot like this, but it won't be exactly the same. Okay, the logic that you use in this conditional will be different. The not will be in a different place. There might be more lines or less. Okay, but I'm going to leave it up here to show you guys an example of what you need to change that wording to fit this logic. Okay, so I'll even give you a hint. This one is real easy. This is just if switch 1, then relay 1 is true, right? And then probably the opposite case, if not switch 1 or whatever, relay 1 is false, okay? That's what I want you to do. If you have any questions, let me know. Comments, let me know. Otherwise, good luck. I'll be here for you if you need me.
So we both use relay 1.
Correct. Relay 1 is our only output for this situation. Yes. For the last one? Cool. All right, what's
I
up?
was just stuck here and
Okay.
figure out what else to do from here.
Okay, so one thing is that you have an output and you're using it as an input. which might be a little confusing,
Oh.
right? Because you're saying if the user button and the relay is on, then set the light to blue, is what you're saying here. Okay, so what you probably want to say is if the button, then turn the light on, right? If we're pressing the button, turn the light on.
Yeah.
And then probably handle the other case, if we're not pressing the button, turn the light off, right?
Yeah.
So show me what that block would look like. Nice, so far so good.
And therefore,
You got to set the blue light to whatever you want to set it to. So that would be false for off. Yeah. And then you got to end the if. Yeah, so what it's going to go through here is it's going to run this one at a time. It's going to go if the button is high. If the button is not high, it's just going to skip that line. It goes, if this is true, it's not true. I'm going to just end that if and go here. If this is not being pressed, which it probably isn't if we're not pressing it, then it'll do the thing, right? It'll turn the light off, and it'll go through and do that for each of the lines. So if we're just setting the light, then this too is just what you need, but we want to set the light and the relay. All right, so super simple to do that is we can just add another line right here to also do another thing. So if this happens, we do this thing and this thing. So what do you think you would write there for to change the relay? What's your relay called? What's the variable name?
relay.
Just relay? Relay? Okay, cool. So we want to set relay equal to something, right? Whether it's 0 or 1, true or false.
True.
Right, because we want the relay to be on when the LED is also on. Nice. You're missing some semicolons though, so see how you have one at the end of there? You also need one there and there and there. Yeah, or else it'll yell at you. It won't let you compile. Yeah, it won't program at all. Great, awesome. So these two you actually don't need anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. That's actually all you need. So we've covered the two cases where if we're pressing the button, the light and relay are on, and if we're not pressing the button, they're both off. And that's how you do it. So if we go ahead and go up here to compile, hopefully this runs. Great. So this is okay. It's just saying it compiled okay. Do you want me to restart the device? We say yes. And then what happens when you press the button? Nice. Awesome. So you hear the click too of the relay. So go ahead, keep playing around with it, keep changing it. Makes a little more sense now, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Do I understand the assignment correctly? 'Cause I feel like it would be this, but I feel like I must be missing something.
So, so worth noting that every time this script runs, you're immediately setting your relay to off.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a condition, you're just turning it off automatically no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do?
So I just figured I'd turn it off right away.
Okay. That's fine. It's not what I would recommend doing, but it's okay. You
Could
could,
get rid of it.
yeah, let's get rid of it because it's extraneous. But so if switch, then relay is true. If not switch, then relay 1 is still true. So you're setting it on no matter what the button status is.
Oh, I see. Okay, the sign there. No, it would. Yeah, but that seems to follow the chart.
Okay, sorry. I might have just misread that. It's not switch 2, switch 1 is true. Yes, okay, my bad, yeah. I read that as switch 1 in both cases, my bad. If switch 1 and switch 2, then yes, good. If not switch 1 and switch 2,
This is the only thing that turns it off.
Is this how it's supposed to go?
you're missing and switch 2. If not switch 1 and switch 2, then yes, okay, yes, you're correct. This is looking good.
Just basically.
Oh, okay. Then
Switch 2 is,
I guess it really was that line.
that means it's running.
No,
That means so
There you go.
Yeah, it's running right now. So the light's only on when it's off. So right now it's running. Switch
that to
one.
me.
is it supposed to be off or is it supposed to be on?
It's supposed to be on right now.
So you
Because
get
switch,
back-
because switch one is.
Darn, this is. No, I don't think
Sorry,
this is
switch-
working.
Here, flip it
Switch
down.
If not switch 1
That's satisfying the bottom.
and switch 2,
The which one? The third one?
switch 2
The
on,
bottom.
The fourth one?
then.
I heard it click.
One is off and 2 is on.
Yeah, I keep hearing the relay click.
No, but it's not supposed
This
to
means
be
the
right
relay is off.
here.
What is that?
But in this case, you're
Because
roll down. Let me-
If not switch 1 and switch 2,
Then you turn off the relay.
One
Right,
is
turn
on,
off the relay.
turns the
Yeah.
on. If switch
So,
two is
this
off,
right here
turns that relay
is on.
Switch two's
It
already
is also on. I'm gonna turn this one
So
off,
it's
Okay.
it's on.
and now I hear it.
There's zappers going through there.
But your LED is lit up.
Because the light's not on.
Oh, I don't know what status the relay is. It could be clicking on or clicking off. So this is exactly why we often pair it with the LED output, so we can see the status of the relay, whether it's on or off.
If switch one.
It's not a part of the assignment, so it's not like you did it wrong. But I'm just saying, in general, that's why it's hard to tell whether a relay is open or closed just from the click.
Because there are two kinds of clicks.
I flip this.
Well, it clicks every time it changes states. So a click means either it's going from open to closed or closed to open. I don't know which.
If I put 2 on.
I could, like I said, I could put a little meter on there and I could figure it out, but or we could just put an LED.
This is the only one.
So yeah, if you're on the right track, you're probably even solved it. So if you want, I would, add under your relay 1 equals true, maybe also do LED 1 equals on, and then you can visualize the logic that way. Yeah,
I think we've
I'll be right there.
Possible.
Yeah.
Maybe. So switch one being on,
Mm-hmm.
makes it turn on, and then I have the light backwards so that if it's only on, the light is only on
Oh, okay.
when it's off. Which in this case would be if 1 is off and 2 is on,
Mm-hmm.
then it's off. So that's the only state in which it's off, basically. Because if 1 goes on, it stays on. If 1 and 2 are on,
Yeah.
it's on.
I'm gonna make a more complete list. I just kind of pulled this out of thin air. I'm gonna make sure this logic is a little bit better, guys. So the structure of your code won't change. We're still gonna have 4 states, but I'm gonna give you different outputs over here, okay? So this one, I wanna do, I'll do it the more typical way it's written out too, okay? Because this was, again, my bad. We're gonna go 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Is this typical to write in binary? If 0, 0, I want the output to be 1. If 0, 1, I want the output to be low. If this, I want the output to be high. And if this, I want the output to be low. This should give you unique solutions, okay? Where we shouldn't have any, like, if relay 1's on and relay's not, we don't have any no care situations here. We're always looking at both inputs to see our output, okay? Sorry about that. Go ahead, continue, please. Any questions, let me know. Yes. What's up?
Trying to figure it out right now from what we have currently.
Okay.
It seems like it's almost working the opposite of how it should. So
Okay.
Like we put the LED. I put the LED on just to make sure, but it's not. We've set it to switch 1 to make the relay turn on, but it's not doing it. And for some reason, switch 2 is.
Oh, okay.
But like the code, I can't figure out where in the code would be causing that to happen.
If switch 1 then equals true, not switch 1 then it's false. Oh, it's probably because you're breaking it out so granularly. So it's like the last thing that runs would be the thing that writes it. Right, so like if not switch 1 and switch 2, if switch 1 is off and switch 2 is on, then the relay would turn off.
Okay.
And if you had an earlier condition that wrote something different than that, the last one would overwrite it. For example,
Okay.
I'm guessing that might be what's happening here because my logic wasn't super sound.
I got it.
But try doing that and let me know.
So try to get rid of this one so it happens.
Yeah, or you know, try the implementation. So you should just have 4 blocks.
Okay.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
For some reason, this. I'm saying this is just not. It's just doing the clicking noise.
Okay, so go ahead and compile it again. And then, okay, so you haven't actually compiled it yet. You got to click yes. Okay, so object not found. It's trying to look for the main variable. It's because this has to be there.
Okay.
This needs to be an integer. This was, or I could delete the main program and then I wouldn't complain anymore, but I'm just going to keep that for now. Okay, so we got rid of a couple errors. So it's trying to find the variable user button, but it's not finding it. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you named it but1, not user button. So they got to be exactly the same. So user button has an underscore there. Yeah. Nice. And then I think the same thing's happening for your LED.
Okay.
Yeah. It's looking for LED, but you have LED blue. Nice. So now try to compile and upload, yeah. Nice. Okay, so this will take a little bit. It'll take a few minutes to do the first time, and then every other time after that, it'll just take like a minute. So let it do its thing, and then it should work. If it doesn't, let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else questions? Want help? You working out okay? Doing okay?
I can't seem to figure out the button.
Okay. What's going on with the button?
So I'm putting in, I'm trying to do like new, for the user button. Each time I compile it, it says like there's,
Oh, because you have pressed here. Pressed isn't like a thing.
Oh, so.
It's just if user button then. So just like switch one, this itself would evaluate to a 1 or a 0. Same for user button. If we're pressing it, this is true, it becomes true. Like it's replaced by the word true. So we say if true, then so-and-so. Just like that.
But then every time, let's say I do, without, the pressed, nothing happens here. It's like,
So let's see here. So if not user button, let's keep it simple. If user button, then turn it on. If not user button, then still turn it on. So that's not right.
oh, so then must one line be false?
Sure. I mean, in this case, you're saying if we're pressing the button, then turn the LED on. But if we're not pressing the button, still turn the LED on. So that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Nice. Okay, so another thing, this just compiles it. Okay, so that stays on the machine. You haven't actually uploaded it to the device.
Yeah, then it's that button.
This button,
okay.
yeah. So that might be half of it. So then when you click yes, now it'll have downloaded to the device. So we're just looking at user buttons, so try clicking the button, and there's your LED. Good to go? All right, yeah. Questions?
I think we got it.
Cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go for a little bit longer. Check in again in 9 minutes at 8:20. All right, see where you're at. And then we'll be almost done.
Are those stuck though? Because you want the inputs are all off, the output should be off, right?
It doesn't matter, actually.
Okay.
It would be situationally dependent, and I don't have context.
Yeah, just add it.
Oh, vocabulary. This is called a truth table. super duper common, the truth table in programming and engineering and all the stuff we're doing.
Sir, can you explain to me what happened, by the way?
Yeah.
I tried to mix lights, but I got this. So I have red here, I have green here. But when I mix, I get,
Oh, yeah, orange, sure. Mm-hmm.
but I get blue on this separate light.
So red, green. Oh, is blue really over there?
Yeah.
I'm actually, I don't,
I have it over here, but I wanted to combine them both. But
green light
instead-
and blue light. Yeah, I wonder if the blue light's like separated. I thought it would all be on the same cob, but maybe it's not. That's funny that the blue light is actually over here. I think you're right.
Unless.
Let me double check that, but I think that's correct. I just assumed it was an RGB LED, but perhaps not.
Well, I tried separating them, but it's still from a different place.
I think that might just be where the blue LED is. I think that's correct. Yeah, only the red and the green LED are in the same spot. And the blue is just separate. It's not actually an RGB LED. Today I learned. I'm gonna get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Yeah.
I just want to double check that
Sure.
I wrote this correctly.
Okay.
I also have a question too.
Sure.
When do you use the semicolons and the colons? Like, how do you know when to use what?
It's just like learning English and knowing how things are spelled. You just kind of got to learn it.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, we know that it's just after the end if and just after we set equal to something else. We assign something. So if we were to do math, we would also do that. So for example, say we had a variable that was named A. It is a number, and that is set to 1. And then say we had, this is a little more advanced, so no worries, but say we had B, that was a number, an integer, and it was set to 2, okay? So say if we wanted to go if A plus B equals 3, then, you know, do the thing, LED blue. For example, that could be like that. But if we were doing another line that was just math, like we had a third variable that we wanted to store something in. So C, again, it's an integer because we want to have a number in it, set it to 0 initially. So if we want to do a little bit of math, for example, C, set that equal to A plus B, then that would get a colon or a semicolon like that. So for example, if A or if C was like a temperature value that we wanted to compute, and A was like an analog voltage that we were reading in, we could do a little bit of math to change that number we're getting from the voltage to turn that into a temperature value. And that's how we might do that.
Oh, I'll probably just look more outside of class.
Sure, yeah, by all means.
But is the code that I wrote?
Yes, as long as, switch and LED blue, as long as that's exactly the same.
I had to double check.
Okay, so that looks a little different, but yeah, double check.
Yeah, that's how I wrote it down.
Okay, I think it'll be okay. So the next check is you can try to compile it. Let's see if, all right, we got one error, undefined contact. Yeah, that could have been it. So go to try to recompile. Undefined contact. Switch 28. Switch 1 and switch 2, switch 1, switch 2. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Go back to your programmable inputs. Yeah, name that lowercase switch, just in case. So it's exactly the same. Oh. Name it like switch 0 first. Yeah.
And this one.
1 or yeah. Sure. And then change this to like switch 1 again. Yeah. And then change that to lowercase.
I know I.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't like that, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's already the same if it's complaining. I don't think it matters. Oh, switch 28. Okay, so go here. This is what it's complaining about. It can't. So go ahead and delete this from your project, right? So in your tasks list. Sorry, open it here, the plus and plus. There you go. So remove that so it's not running alongside our program.
This one, right?
Right. Because it was trying to compile this incomplete program and it didn't know what to do with it.
Should I take away the main one too?
You can leave that one, that's fine. So go back to, your blinked input 28. Okay, so the other thing is this one is not actually in your task group. You're never actually running it.
Yeah.
So you gotta just drag it into tasks. Fast? Yeah. So you should have done this when you first made the program. So I'm just going to show you. Go ahead and make a new program. Yeah, right click, add, new program. Yep. And then so assign to, that's where you wanted to, when you first made it, to put it in the fast
I
group.
think I did do it fast when I did this one and put 28.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like
Maybe
when I-
did switch 28 instead or something. In any case, it has to be in here for it to actually run.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and remove blink LD too, so it's not interfering with us. Now recompile. Missing a semicolon somewhere. And input's 28. Oh, this is a colon. It should be a semicolon.
This one?
Yeah, so you don't hold shift. Yeah. And then I think it's the same for that guy. And
all
that
of
guy
them?
too. All of them, yeah. Should be semicolons. And then these guys too. So this and this are okay, but these two need to be semicolons.
Oh, this one and which one?
Right. Yep.
This one too?
Yep. Just so. And now try to compile again. Nice. Okay, so we compiled, but compiling it's still on the computer. Now we have to push it to the PLC. Now click that button. Yep. And then click yes. That will push the code to the device. Now when you click your button or your switches, you did this button, right? No?
I just switch one and switch two.
So let's go to your resources. Programmable inputs, yeah. I1 and I2. Okay, those look okay.
Maybe it's wired.
Maybe. Oh yeah, you got your, oh wait, no. I1 and I2. No, that looks, oh, it's not plugged in. That'll do it. So there's a little power brick somewhere. Mm. Are we down a power brick? Here's one. Jesus. Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little uncoordinated is all. There you go. Plug that guy in. I think that might be our fix right there.
Yeah, probably is. Oh, there. Yeah, it works.
Nice. But the blue LED is on all the time.
Maybe it's because I think one of my programs has.
Okay, something else is jumping in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Else.
I think you're on the right track though if you want to keep going.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yeah. What's up? Oh, sure.
Did get
Nice.
relay to work as well.
Awesome. Your code is looking good.
Control.
This is for the new logic. Cool. Okay. Nice. Awesome. Good stuff, guys. Nice. Anyone else? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I think we got it.
Okay.
So let's test this. So off is on.
Cool.
Right one is right. Switch 2 is off. And then just switch 1 is on,
Uh-huh.
which it stayed on.
Nice.
And then 1 and 2 is off.
Nice. Good work. Good stuff.
We were trying to figure out why this wasn't working for the longest time.
What was it?
I was just missing a knot right there.
Yeah, that'll do it. Nice. Good work, though. Good job. All right, guys. 5 more minutes left. We're doing really, really well. I'm actually very proud of you guys. We're doing good progress. If you want to fool around with a couple more minutes, try some new things, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, we're done for today. I'm here if you want to ask questions. Otherwise, yes.
You said there was an important term.
Truth table.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, so for programming, for sussing out like what you need to accomplish as an engineer or whatever, truth tables are awesome, for sure, for logic and such. But yeah, I think that's it. Did things make a little more sense after we talked?
Yeah. You know how to make if statements loop?
It loops by default. It's called 100 times a second, so that's like a loop. All right, see ya.
You know, when you set up the
Yeah, it's because I set these variables.
Does that make sense? That it is already a loop?
I guess.
yeah, so that's what I was trying to fuck with my head.
Because he's got them called, he was right up called like switch 1,
Yeah,
switch 2.
so-
I just have them.
Yeah, let's start. If we're gonna work together, let's do it when you do
I was like, switches I.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm doing input in ones is because eventually I'll switches. It'll be
Okay.
it'll be like
Alright,
that's my
So we just have the first one. Each one of these are like messing with it.
that's like line in.
Stop.
Yeah, but you know, for some reason, this is the same like these are the other words. It will be absolutely.
We're going to be working with the PLCs the day after tomorrow anyway, so don't worry about putting them back in the box. You can leave them kind of where they are. Sorry, I don't know. I said it a little late. I just thought about it. Don't worry about packing up, unwiring, or anything like that. You can leave it as is.
What's these called?
Simulator.
Simulator.
Yeah.
Get this offline too.
Sure. Yeah. The kit's kind of expensive.
Yeah, I should have bought the kit. I ordered this, but
Oh, okay. So yeah, they kind of had that.
like the kit for like 160 or something.
Yeah, something like that. 250 maybe.
No,
even.
no, it was 250. This was 160.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I could buy this separate too, right?
I'm not sure actually.
I mean,
I would hope so, but I'm not sure.
Alright. I should have bought the whole kit. That's the first part.
I mean, you could still do it yourself with, normal switches. There's a cheap thing called so like on Amazon.
No, I wanted to get the same exact thing.
Oh, the same exact thing.
But this is what we working on in class. I want to practice on it at home.
Gotcha.
Like I'll learn better through repetition.
Okay, makes sense. But yeah, so it's the Arduino. I think they call it the DIM simulator. The Simulate is what it's officially called. 8 switches simulate.
What's this one called?
That one is the DIN Celsius.
Basically, whenever you turn switch 2 off, that's when the relay. Or sorry.
So if you want to bring it home, like in between class, I'm gonna be okay with that. If you like brought it back for class or something,
Okay.
that's fine.
Well, but yeah, I just gotta order this. I got this piece already.
Okay. Yeah. Best of luck. I hope it's out there.
Well, I hope it is.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for you. Yeah.
But if I could, if I can't find it, I'll do that.
All right. Yeah. Let me know if you can't find it. I can give you other suggestions too.
All right, thank you.
For sure.
Up until that point there where I was missing that knot, I was like, I'm not understanding it. I just messed up.
Well, so the next step would have been to go into live debug mode, right? Is to see your inputs and outputs. That would be the thing that would show you too. But yeah, definitely tricky, this logic stuff.
I added the LED